Hello, people of the internet, and welcome back to Rashman Productions, where I talk about everything comics, movies, and superheroes. So, I have two theories for why does Doctor Doom look like Tony Stark. In fact, why does he even look almost, in fact, entirely the same as Robert Downey Jr., as Tony Stark himself? So, I have two theories. One of them is a very factual theory that I truly believe will be adapted in the movies, with which the MCU will carry on forward. The reason of Doctor Doom looking like Tony Stark himself. And the second theory is kind of a throwaway theory that which won't be as mindful, that won't be as deep enough. So I want to discuss both of these theories. So before we discuss those, I want you to go and check out my posters on printmyposter.in. These are some amazing designs. Go and check them out. Link is also in the description. Yeah. So the first theory is the reason Doctor Doom looks almost or entirely the same as Tony Stark is because he has some facial work done. So, I mean, as we all know, Doctor Doom has a scarred face, a very scarred face, in fact, and that scar actually has a very deep rooted meaning to it. So, the reason his whole face is scarred is because of a big explosion, something going wrong with his inventions, with his working, that it caused so much of an error that his face literally was covered in flames and it was scarred for his entire life. So, to hide that, he wears a mask. Now, what happens, especially in this current scenario, in this current theory that I am putting forward, is that we get to see Doom with his scarred face for a good while. But what happens is when he gets to interact with some of these Earth 616 heroes, he realizes that they might not be doing his bidding just on the sole stake of doing or doing the things for him, just not because they, of course, they do not trust him, because he's someone from another universe perhaps, and he's just an outlier, nobody knows him there, so why would they trust him? So to kind of make them trust, he puts on this face of Tony Stark, maybe a facial reconstruction or a magical spell that makes people, especially the heroes of Earth 616 and some other time displaced heroes, perceive him as a Tony Stark variant, a Robert Downey Jr. face variant of that literal character. But he's actually Victor Von Doom, who is doing these things to do his bidding, who is going on to the limits of maybe even damaging the image of a good and a dead hero long gone, and he's doing it for his own purpose. And I think that is the reason we might get to see this Doom have a face of Tony Stark, especially the Tony Stark of Earth 616. So this is the theory I believe they will be going with, where Doom kind of gets this face to sympathize the heroes of Earth 616 with him and do his bidding for him. But in the end, it's like Doctor Strange comes in and unravels, or some other magic user, maybe Wanda or someone else, unraveling this spell, and us getting to know that it is not actually a Tony Stark variant, but literally Victor Von Doom, who has reconstructed this face of Tony Stark and put on this literal mask of Tony Stark, of Iron Man, to be in good eyes of the heroes of Earth 616. But he is literally that lunatic of a dictator of a country, of a area of land. And his intentions are hidden behind that mask, and this is the reason I also believe Robert Downey Jr. said this: new mask, same task. And
New mask, same task.
the reason I personally believe he said that is because his task would be to get things done, and the task of Iron Man in the whole kind of MCU is about getting things done, be it at the age of Ultron, where he wanted to create an artificial intelligence, to kind of destroying it with the creation of Vision, even that thing which was very kind of, destructing and not kind of a safest option to do, with going towards space out of his home world in Infinity War, and at the end of Endgame collecting those Infinity Stones and snapping away Thanos and his army. I do believe, and making an ultimate sacrifice, I do believe that is what the task of Doom is. And that he will save the entire multiverse from crumbling down, but under his hubris, under his dominion, he will put that universe. And in doing that, he will go to feats no one has ever thought about, that may be overlooked by other peoples, by the watchers themselves, by us, the audience. And that is the thing that we are overlooking, and that is where the new mask, which is Doom's mask, with that same task under Robert Downey Jr.'s face, under Tony Stark's face, which is the same task of getting things done by hook or by crook, be it even the end of yourself. And in this way, it is not the end of Doom, but the end of this legacy of a character which has been turned into a mockery by this animated corpse of a mechanist sorcerer who wants to put the whole world under him, because maybe out of saving it, maybe it's the last chance to save it, maybe he does it out of that, or maybe it's just for the sake of sympathizing with the heroes of Earth 616. So I do believe this is the theory that they will go with, this is the hypothesis, this is the the story that they will go with to kind of explain why Doom looks like Tony Stark. And the second theory is that Doom has put on some magic, that he looks like Tony Stark, or he already looks like Tony Stark, because we have had this kind of thing in Deadpool and Wolverine, where Chris Evans, who is Captain America, looks the exact same when playing Human Torch. So it's like he literally may just be Victor Von Doom. And yeah, that just might be the same person playing it, but it will be just be the different character. And the reason people don't recognize him, except for some meta characters like maybe Deadpool and She-Hulk, is that it's literally like a Spider-Man scene, where like a Spider-Man No Way Home scene, where literally the people of the in-universe characters, the people do not understand or cannot comprehend that, yeah, this is, Robert Downey Jr., like this is Tony Stark. For them, it is like a different person entirely. But I do believe that if other characters saw Chris Evans' Human Torch in the MCU, like the other characters from Earth 616, if they saw that, they might be confused. But I do believe, to kind of, not delve into that as much, it might just be like some spell that he might have put on his face, that people do not perceive him as Tony Stark. So this is the second, like, kind of very basic argument that they can portray in the movie, be like, yeah, he just looks different, we cannot perceive him as Tony Stark. But still, I do believe they will go on with the first theory that I portrayed, that I let down just now, and that is a good theory. I personally believe that will be a theory that can, do some good for the movie, the storytelling. And yes, that was it. Make sure to sub to the channel. Let me know, what do you think? Why does Doctor Doom look the same as Tony Stark? What are your thoughts on it? Are you kind of agreed with this theory? Do you think this theory works if put in the movie? So just let me know. And of course, sub to the channel, like, and yes, that's it. I'll see you in the next.